Hey, it's the second video of 2017 of my video a day challenge to try to help end the stigma that is mental illness or learning disability. I want people to know that it's nothing to be ashamed of. There's literally thousands and thousands of us that have been ashamed in the past, and we've been made fun of, we've been ashamed, but there's no reason to. And that's what I hope to do with these videos, is inspire someone that's in a bad place to step out of your comfort zone. Just know that it's going to get better. It may not be a week from now, a month from now, maybe several years from now, but it's going to get better. Just keep the faith. Keep your head up. I spent most of my day in appointments trying to maintain my ADHD and anxiety. Like, I made the decision in November to stop treating the anxiety part and start treating the ADHD part, hoping maybe I'd get some kind of relief. And it's probably one of the best decisions I've made as far as treatment. I've been in and out of counseling for 5 years, and it's seriously worth everything to have somebody, kind of an unbiased opinion, that you can talk to. Somebody that's not super close to you. I was kind of scared at first to do it, but then I met my counselor, and she's been one of my greatest supporters. And I'm blessed that I was stuck in hers, because she not only tells me how to figure things out on a cognitive level, but personal level, spiritual level. She hits every level of it. And she just lets me talk sometimes. She's let me cry. She's let me laugh. She's let me act like a complete moron. She probably wouldn't call me a moron, but I'll call myself that, because that's one of my favorite words. And to anybody that's worried about counseling, do it. You will be so happy. And don't be afraid to talk to your doctor about it. Don't be afraid to talk to your doctor about medication. There's nothing wrong with medication. It's another great decision I made as far as treatment with mine. And as I mentioned, I don't take medicine for anxiety anymore. I take it for ADHD. And so far it's gone pretty well. I know in the beginning, I started taking Ritalin, which is supposed to slow me down, which it does. And the funny thing is, the first week I ever took it, even my managers were like, "Are you okay? Something wrong? Are you sick?" And I know it was all out of love, because I'm usually this boing, 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 boing kind of person. But I was really quiet. And anybody who knows me knows that's not me. And I'm kind of glad that they stepped in and said, "Hey, you okay?" I had to explain that I just started a new medication that was probably going to be for like this for a few weeks. Luckily, after probably 2 or 3 days, I was mellowed out enough, but I was still me. I was still outgoing, crazy self. I'm kind of glad the medicine didn't take all of me away, but it slowed my mind down enough to focus on things. And I'm glad that I decided to go towards the ADHD treatment versus the anxiety treatment, because once they started treating my ADHD and teaching me better techniques to deal with it, my anxiety started to get better. I'm not saying that I don't have anxiety, because I do. We all do, in a sense. Some of us just go from here to here in a matter of seconds versus from here to here. Like, we should. Some anxiety is normal. Everybody has it. When you take a test, you're going to freak out. You start a new job, you're going to freak out. You have medical appointments. Everybody freaks out at those. Dentist. Shh, it's okay. But even though these videos are meant to help others, inspire them to get help or to reach out to somebody that has mental illness, I'm going to open up pieces of me, tell about myself, my struggles, In this video, I thought about what can I talk about, and I was sitting in Walmart waiting for my appointment, which I finally set up, and they were talking about photography, and one of them needing headshots for their ambassador shoot where they sell Plexus, which I was like, awesome, I love pictures. And I got to thinking, that's what my video is going to be about. Not pictures, but photography. How a camera like this little guy, saved my entire 2016. Like, it started out okay, and then in April, I had a wreck that totaled out my car that I don't even know if I'd had it 6 months yet. I think I got it in August. And I really don't remember, and it's bugging me that I don't remember. But, I was in a wreck, and it totaled out my car. And for several months, I was kind of lost and confused because A, that was my only means of transportation. B, I was going to have to rely on someone else to take me back and forth to work and anything else I needed to do. And C, literally, I'd saved up, I don't even, like $500 down payment, scraped by to pay the sales tax. Took me like 2 months to do that, and still had to borrow money to pay it off just so I could drive it. And in literally 15 seconds, it was gone. And all that was really left of the car was shattered glass all over the highway and a bent frame. My brother and my friend Lisa were okay. I was okay after taking a nasty blow to the head, which I still have. Kind of an indention, I guess, is what I'm looking for, and a bump from where I hit my head on the steering wheel. And later on in the summer, I was still trying to figure out what I was going to do because I barely had enough money to put food on the table. I didn't want to have to ask for help, but I was asking for help. And I was getting ready to start college in just a few months, and I was still trying to figure that out. I was like, is this really what I want to do? In my heart, I wanted to, but my head's like, are you mentally, physically prepared for this? And I kept telling myself, yes, I am. I'm going to do it. And in August, I stepped into one of my classes. It was visual communications. And I ended up in an overflow class because so many students registered. And I ended up with a great professor that literally sparked my fire that I already had, which I've loved taking pictures forever. I carried a little 35mm camera around with me when I was a kid, and I still have a couple of the black and white photos that I took of a shed in my grandparents' yard, some flowers. I think there's a few of my brothers and some other things. And ESPN app. And so I've always loved taking pictures. My grandpa's a photographer. He used to be for High Troll for years and was their graphic artist. So I kind of had a lot of inspiration there. My mom was a photographer in high school, so that love was always instilled in me. And back in Professor Tate's class, from the first day, he was talking about his passion for photography, how he'd traveled as a war correspondent, and he took pictures in Detroit and ended up on the cover of the newspapers. And I was like, that's awesome. You can do that. You can get paid to do this. You can get paid for your passion. And this fire was like lit, and I was on a roll, which I already had this camera, and I wanted to learn how to use it. You know, there's obviously a lot of settings that, without being a photographer or reading a bunch of books, probably have no idea what half of these mean. Like your aperture settings, your portrait settings, your landscape settings, your fast motion settings, different flash settings. I mean, even zoom in. lots of stuff. And there's a lot to learn. And when you have ADHD, everything goes on at once, so you're trying to, ooh, what's this button do? What's this button do? What's this button do? Literally, I sat there for like 2 days, and that's all I did was, hey, I wonder what happens if I push this button. Oh, I wonder what happens if I change this setting. And I didn't mess up anything, obviously, because the camera still works. And one day, I was on Facebook, and a friend of mine posted a picture that said something to the extent of, don't be afraid to follow your dreams. You have to dream out loud. I really wish I could remember that too. But just talking about taking chances and not being afraid to take the leap of faith. And I reached out to what then was just a Facebook friend that I was like, she takes really awesome pictures. You know, she did my niece's pictures, and Bailey's really hard to get to sit still, but I love her to death though. And they were some of the best pictures ever. And then she took pictures of a couple of friends with their children, and I was like, these are amazing. You know, you can literally look at the pictures and tell how much the photographer loves taking pictures. That's how good they were. And I admired that. It's kind of like a mentor. And I reached out to her one day and I was like, hey, got a new camera, and I was just wondering if you'd let me tag along to learn how to use my camera, learn what you do so I can do it too. And long story short, she's like, oh yeah, come on, just meet me here on this date because I have a senior session. And I was like, hey, I'm gonna get to do it too. And I'm thinking, I'm just gonna watch her do it. I'm not gonna do anything. It's her business. But no. First question asked, do you have your camera with you? Of course I do, it goes everywhere. And I end up taking pictures right alongside her. And it was awesome. And from that day, stuff kind of grew, and my passion for photography got cemented even more between being able to work hand in hand with Amy and going to Professor Tate's class, because at the same time Amy was explaining things, Professor Tate's just keep going, you got this. And he'd have all these different photography assignments where we got to do an A to Z project where we took 26 pictures for each letter of the alphabet. Well, one picture for each letter of the alphabet, so 26 pictures total. And I was like, I love this. This is great. But seriously, like, the funniest thing that happened was Amy's like, hey, I have a wedding I'm going to shoot and you're coming too. Okay, I've never shot a wedding before, but I'm going to go. And we get there, and thanks for throwing me to the wolves, Amy. She's like, you're going to shoot and I'm going to minister to this wedding. So not only did I shoot my first wedding, I found out that one of my closest friends, well, now closest friend, is an ordained minister. Awesome. But, I mean, there's experiences I probably would have never had I not been in Professor Tate's class, had Amy not reached her hand out and said, sure, come on. And even though I've got this small group of friends that I love like family, it's those little things where somebody's like, follow me, you got this, you can do whatever you want. And it wasn't just a little bit of faith, it was like this much faith, like farther than I can stick my arms out kind of faith. She's like, oh yeah, here, take my pictures, edit those. I was like, do you want to look at them? No, I trust you. That was the kind of push that I needed when I didn't even want to push myself. And I had a friend reach out and put, literally, like I said yesterday, 110% of herself into me. Somebody she barely knew. I mean, she knew my name was Ashley. She knew I did random things. She knew I had two brothers and a stepsister, two stepsisters. She knew that I worked at Walmart in the photography area and the cell phone area. She knew I had random conversations in Walmart when she was in there. And I mean, to put all this faith in me was awesome. And it's not just one person, it's all of these cool people. Which, this isn't everybody, but there's a Bailey and a Millie and one of my brothers over here. Check it out. Even Diana Davis made the list. Diana Davis has been my childhood hero since I was like 9 years old. And this person here, so that's me. That's Amy. I'm probably gonna die after this video because that's the best picture I have of the two of us. And I mean, there's a Tanya, and of course myself. This isn't everybody, like I said, but it's one of the things I set up for my photography and one of my book signings that I did earlier in the year. So it was pretty cool. But like I said, find a passion that you love. Find something that's going to take your mind off of those anxious moments. Like, step behind the camera like I did. Or write it. Writing is probably the best way to get out emotions because you're getting out everything you can say without physically saying it. And I know that everybody is different. We're all going to react. I mean, we're all made to love. We're made to live out our passions as set by God. And with any faith at all, you can move small mountains. You can make it big enough to move the biggest mountains. Just don't be afraid to do it. Don't be afraid to dream out loud. Don't be afraid of the chains that are holding you down because you're going to break them. And I have all the faith in the world that just believing in yourself and you're going to do it. I mean, I never thought that I'd be making video vlogs about anxiety. I never thought I'd be talking about it, yet alone telling the world. Just like I never thought I'd have the friends that I have. 5 years ago, if you would have asked me this, I would have just got angry, shut down. I walked away. I'm not that person. I'm still Ashley. But I have faith that there's something greater. And there's a passion that's growing every day. So keep up 2017. Let this be your year that you step outside of your comfort zone and tell anxiety, you're not going to be my boss. You're not defining me because I'm stronger than you. Let's go, guys.